Biafra.
Reading from Biafran's Got Talents.
Africans will never be free until Biafra comes here. Africans will never be free until Biafra charge our children down. So every black man, even now, for the heroes to be. Stand up for your right and let us free Africa. I know that Jaja won't let us down. You give us Biafra, our golden crown. Africa will rise and be great again. We've had enough of these tears and pain. So every black man stand. So every black man for your right. Wherever you are, stand up for Africa. So every black man, stand up for your right, for your right. Freedom for Africa, Africa, freedom for Africa.
Yes, African, they say, will never be free until Biafra is restored. This is Radio Biafra Extra, and we are streaming live through Biafra Human Right and Freedom Radio Station. Biafra Human Right and Freedom Radio Station is referred to as the child of circumstance. It is being anchored by Diokpa Uche Ukafo-Mefo. Diokpa Uche Ukafo-Mefo is from Abatete. Abatete is in Anambra State, and Anambra State is Biafra land. Diokpa Uche Ukafo-Mefo is the man who has simply assured us that on this journey, this quest to restore Biafra, that he will not allow the heart of this project to see corruption. Many promises was made, not all were kept. But at least till this very moment, he has made sure that indeed the corruption itself, which has engulfed the issue regarding Biafra, has not been able to corrupt it. And by the special grace of the Almighty Creator, I remain Judge Onyibe. I hail from Abo. Abo is in Anyoma province, and Anyoma province is in Delta State, and every piece of land in Delta State is Biafra land. And as always, I will begin to acknowledge men and women of goodwill, conscientious people who are not even Biafran, but they understand our plight as a people. And I will say day and night they offer prayers on our behalf. I will acknowledge those who have died for the sake of Biafra, and that in the end their death will not be in vain. And so one day in the nearest future, our brothers and sisters, the next generation of Biafra, will give glory to the Almighty Creator, that indeed it was not easy to restore Biafra, because Biafra will be restored, but that finally they are at home. I want to acknowledge Mazi Ubidi. I want to acknowledge Dr. Okado. I want to acknowledge every member of the Biafran Watchmen, every member of the Biafran Nation. I have to acknowledge, of course, the de facto government of Biafra, every implementation member, as well as the board of trustees. Acknowledge every Biafran, pro-Biafran group who are working in different dimensions, who are working tirelessly to ensure that Biafra is restored. I want to appreciate those who actually are there to cause confusion. That is their job. The only thing they can do is to cause confusion. Acknowledge all of them, because instigators has to do their job. But I will not proceed until I acknowledge the Creator, Chukwukika Biama, the one who stays in heaven and presides over the affair of man. For he is the one who has set our feet upon this path that we must follow. He is the lifting up of our head. He is our hope and stay. He is the primordial influence that drives us in matter both great and small. In wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, he remained the primordial influence. And that is why, having been enlightened by his wisdom, his knowledge, we know how he began, and certainly we know how it's going to end. But I tell you, it will be good for all of us as a people. And so I will acknowledge him before we proceed. Anyị na-aja gị mma maka n'eziokwu na-emara mma ịhụnanya na gị obiọma gị O juru anyanya dadio inwege mgbanwe o ọ dịghị onye dịka gị ebu Alpha na Omega anyị niile na-asị na n'edema o. You see. This evening our topic is simply titled, There is ongoing revolution within and without Biafra. Within or outside Biafra. There is ongoing revolution already. From within, you see, people say, let the revolution begin. They want revolution in Nigeria. They want revolution everywhere. But it is ongoing already, even without most of them knowing it's going on already. Whether it is inside Biafra or outside Biafra, the revolution has begun already. Not everyone will understand the implication behind issues that are being taken care of. Not everybody is aware. Not. To some people, it's just fun. To some people, it's just, let's make money. You are a blogger. Not everybody. But the revolution has started. Only those who are principled. Only those who are genuinely sensitive. Only those who are not influenced by any drug. Only these people can read the writing on the wall. Mene, take care of fasting. There is a war going on already. A revolution taking place already. I say within and without. Inside of Biafra and outside of Biafra. It has already begun. And you need a process to put this thing under check. If not, everything that is happening today will come back and haunt the people of Biafra. And I tell you, the consequence will be a grave one. But we keep telling you, we'll keep reminding you, maybe some of you will begin to get your senses back and understand that everything we do in the name of Biafra, all of them will count. And then how will the next generation refer to us? Because the last time I checked, the generation of 1967 to 1970 gave us a platform to stand. And that is why today we can make our declaration bold. Not because of any man, because we are still writing our own epistles. It has not been revealed. We may not be able to agree with Ojukwu in his entirety, in his totality, that what he did was completely noble. But I tell you, there is virtually no man, alive or dead, that can come out and fight him wholeheartedly. Because you will see, even in his slightest touch, he did command obedience. Even in his weakest moment, he did show strength. And when he was to back down, he stood his ground. And if he did back down, it was for the good of his people. And so the revolution has started, and most of us are not even aware. But we all choose our side and the role we intend to play. And something they can muzzle everybody down, and that is how it's going to be. And they are still muzzling people down. But the point is that you don't know we came prepared. It has started already. And so tonight, when we talk about revolution within and without, I will have to go back to make our people understand that this ongoing revolution within and outside Biafra nation, and the real enemy of Biafran people, they are feeling the pain. All of them. The enemies within and outside Biafra nation, they are feeling the pain. Sometimes they pretend, oh God, nothing is happening. It's happening. And so, at the end of the day, the truth cannot be overemphasized. And that truth is that one way or the other, we are going home. But then, like I said, the essence of this discussion this evening is to make you understand that anything we do today, the consequence abound. The consequence await all of us. And that is why whatever role you choose to play, my brother, my sister, try and find out the cost. It has value. Of course, the enemy of Biafra, within or without, they threaten us that the day they will fight us, that they will make sure their arrows will blot out the sun. They constantly threaten us. Most of you today now, you are afraid of Biafra issue. You are a Biafra, a lover of freedom. Today you are afraid because somebody is going to call you now and threatening you. Are you following Mazimefo? We will kill you. We will destroy your children. We are coming for you. And say, okay. The witches and wizards were all gathered. The witches and wizards gathered and said the king will not be born. But before their presence, the king was born. They call her. And so they said the day they will fight us, they are threatening, they are blowing fire. The day they will fight us, that the sun, their arrows will blot out the sun. Their AK-47 will blot out the sun. Yes, they said so. And you see, we responded to them. Let it still re-echo back to them and tell them that on that very moment, on that very day, if their arrows or their bullet is able to blot out the sun, and then we have prepared our mind, we will fight in the shade. And so it is wrong to underestimate anybody. It is wrong at this time not to consider what is at stake. It is wrong for you to conclude that what you thought you knew about somebody is what you know about somebody. It is wrong for you to soil the name Biafra. Because after us, there will still be Biafra. And after us, people will still talk about Biafra. The next chapter or episode that will be written when we leave the stage is going to be so much influenced by our actions this day. And so, first of all, it is important we consider both sides of this war. The war that is without, outside Biafra, and the war that is within, and the need for us to get prepared, because both of them are not very good. Both of them, there are lessons to learn, pain to feel, sacrifice to make. Because I can see most of the Biafran people are gradually losing focus, distracted, and instead of them to correct their errors of their way, they are deliberately carrying out the same shenanigan attitude, not knowing that the confusion they are causing will turn around somehow, somewhere. The war without comprises of the following, so you can know. When we talk about the war that is outside, it is ranging from within the borders of Biafra land against the Biafran people. We're fighting a war. There are people who are fighting against Biafra, as you have always known, in desperation to take over our land. All these things we are seeing goes down to one thing. They need the land. They need the resources in the land, but they don't need the people. They have to kill everybody. Nothing happened by mistake. Nature and creation set order for everything. But then there are people who are so desperate, they want to kill us. I don't like sounding this way because I believe we have lamented enough. Just that we have failed to consider the spiritual and physical implication of our action. And so in most cases we keep sounding like broken record. But our people, I want to believe, have come of age, and this is the time for you to truly apply your reasoning to your conscience. If you have sense, combine that your sense and your conscience, maybe you begin to see the light. We are fully aware people who are so desperate to take over our land. I have never heard in the history where they said the Igbo man rose up and went to kill the Yoruba to take over their property. And maybe I could say the same thing to the Yoruba. But I know there are conspiracy from every other person trying to take over that which belongs to the Biafra. This is a war we have been fighting even without saying a word. We have been fighting this war to take over our land. They will never allow us to be in control of our territory. Our territory will be used as a conquered territory. And on daily basis on the national assemblies, bills are being passed into motion, going from one stage of the floor to another, all just to take our land. And there are a lot of issues, even though it's not going to help us in this discussion, are all target to take over our land. And the point now is, this desperate art to take over our land, are we still fighting about it? Because meanwhile, while we are being distracted by the activities of a lot of individuals, for a reason best known to them, they are still preparing bills. They are still in the National Assembly. They are still reconfiguring our life. They are still manipulating us by the book. By the book. And then after all of us has been much distracted, they will stir the water again, and then they will tell you that the federal government have decided to do something like this. It will take something from us. How many years you talk about cattle ranching? How many years you're talking about other bills whose main essence of promulgation is to take over our land? And then who are those fighting to make sure that the Nigerian, by her constitution, cannot take over a piece of our land? And that is why you see, with time, we understand that every pro-Biafran group at this moment are doing the best they can in line with the revelation given to them. Some people are fighting to change the constitution. And if I will go with what their idea is all about, the constitutional major, as or how they call it, it is simple. They understand or they believe that the greatest weapon of our undoing as a people of Biafra is the Constitution of Nigeria, which is the 1999 Constitution, which has eventually crippled all of us. These men believe, these women believe, not until this Constitution is placed aside, not until it is amended, not until it is reviewed, these men believe there can be no solution to our predicament as a people of Biafra. And so, when we talk about those laws not being able to pass on and intimidate us as they intend to, people are fighting, my brother. You may not give them the necessary support. You may not agree with what they are doing. But there are people who are holding that destructive clause that would have enhanced or enabled the enemy to progress in the issue of taking our land. And so when they want to talk about cattle ranch, when they want to talk about cattle colony, when they want to talk about grazing reserve bill, among others, there are people they know will surely resist those issues. It's been almost a year. Nobody's talking about they want to take our land. But I tell you the truth, the process is not yet ended. They are still meticulously and patiently initiating procedures to make sure that is done. This is a war. The revolution is going on already. And I'm glad that there are people who are fighting on that outpost to defend the Biafra nation. Because somewhere along the line, most of these policies, I tell you, they are very friendly. And it may smell doom at the end. And so if you are a Biafran son and daughter, you are part of the agitation or you are a gentleman, you may be a clergyman or a monarch, I tell you, begin to look for how you can save the Biafran nation. Because this thing is more than physical. Spiritual is involved. Not everybody understands the implication. And so you have to do your job. When we talk about this war that is outside, we are talking about constant attack on the instrument of unification of the Biafran people. Like I said, some people understand, believe that for us to be able to get freedom, what we want, they continually attack the Constitution of Nigeria, as amended by Abdulsalami Abubakar in 1999. And to them, that is the end of it. Revolution is taking place already. Whether they like it or not, directly or indirectly, it is being reviewed. But then at the end of the day, there are people still fighting the war that is coming from outside Biafra. I have considered every weapon that has been deployed against the people of Biafra. Not AK-47 can bend us. Not poisoning us can weaken us. There is no weapon that has actually been deployed against us that worked. No wonder somebody said they thought they could bury us. They never knew we were seed. They have deployed different kind of weapon. Only one of them succeed. And it is still wreaking havoc within the Biafran territory. That is deployment of the instrument of the balkanization of the Biafran land. What is all this grammar about? We are fighting a war because there are deliberate acts to attack the instrument of unification. They divide us completely. And if you do not see the need for us to unite, even after you have conquered the constitution of Nigeria, that weapon that is actually projected to make sure we are not united will always hurt all of us. There is no greater damage that has been done in Biafra land. If Ojukwu fell, it is because no unification. If Ojukwu did not get Biafra for us, it is because there were division already among us. Today, I look online. I see people playing politics with different kind. But they don't know the type of people we are. They don't understand. But we observe all of you. We conclusively agree. Now we be the Mugu. Now we be the local champion. Kanekamani no girl no mwene bepu baba konembo. Ikamani. Ogahuru onwene bepu baba konembo. The Nigerian government during the eras of the civil war or genocidal war, which is not trending any longer, divided Biafran people among themselves. I am among those. In fact, I led the team of men who went around Biafra land asking questions. Because the truth is what brought us here and it must lead us home. What is your problem? Why are you like this? Forget about the propaganda now. When you enter every kitchen, you will eventually know the secret behind that family. If you are sensible or sensitive enough. The greatest weapon of our undoing is disuniting us. And that is why in most cases when I come, I continually to acknowledge the pioneer, the founding fathers of the Igbo nation. And this time I'm referring to the Igbos of the Southeast. Because those who were able to build this sophisticated community that have been able to survive onslaught for almost 100 years, I'm still trying to study to figure out how they got there. But I'm not trying to tell you they are all wise people. Because most of them eventually maybe prefer to die as a wise man in the backyard of the foolish man. And so they may not consider what is happening now. With the level of Ojukwu education, with the level of men of intellectual capacity, ability around Ojukwu, if we begin to mention their name, it will shock you. They never knew that allowing Ojukwu to carry that burden alone will bring them down to where they are. So no matter how great you are as a Biafran, it doesn't matter who you are. There is somebody who just see you as a second-hand fiddle and you should be rubbish somewhere along the line. Who cares for you? Who cares about you? And so we continue to neglect the need, the issue to unify us and allow this weapon to destroy us. It comes in a very deceitful way. But you have to watch out for it. When I see Biafra singing the praise of other people, and yet they are condemning their own people, I begin to wonder, do they understand that when the Igbo man say Igwebike, when they say that numerical strength cannot be compared to anything, do they consider how this numerical strength can be? Because the last time I checked, every community in Biafra land standing apart don't even have the numerical strength. Your number of constituency and others cannot even give you a common head-on against the West nor the North. Inside this Nigeria, even though in terms of record it may not be true, but they've been able to complicate the whole system, the whole structure, so you never know the truth. This is a war we have to fight. We must continue to fight until one day you begin to hear we are all Easterners. They say, oh, you are a German. You say, no, we are all Easterners, or we are all Southerners, or we are all uplanders, or bottomlanders. Until we begin to tell ourselves, the Biafran begin to use that word. The Yoruba don't say we are Yoruba not. We are the Westerners. Did you get it? Nobody is trying to divide a Ijebu to a Calais to Ife. Nobody is dividing them. And I tell you, even in 100 years' time, Nigerian policy of divide and rule can never work in Yoruba land. If you like, convert all of them to Muslim, to Christian, to pagan, whatever. They know the truth. That is a external war. They've been able to build a reach against such weapon, and they can't penetrate them. The Northerners were so professional in building this weapon. Up to the extent there are Igbo Northerners. There are Idoma Northerners. There are Igala Northerners. Everybody were clinging to the North. We are the North. We are the North. We are the North. Of course, like I said, the war has started already. The revolution has started already. And so for the first time, you begin to hear, no, we are Middle Belt. Middle Belt was part of the North. From inception, they all fall under the umbrella of the North. And so you couldn't penetrate in between them. But from the day I was born, to this very moment, in fact, from the creation of Nigeria, from that amalgamation of 1914, I have never seen any document that refer us as a people. Because immediately they destroyed, they divided the Biafra land. And we ignored it. We were pieces into different regions. You have Biafrans in the Midwestern region. You have Biafrans in the Middle Belt region. You have Biafrans in the South region. You have Biafrans in the Southeast region. You have Biafrans in the Eastern region. You have Biafrans in the, of course, Middle Belt region. It was convenient for all of us. We ignored it. Never have we considered this a war to fight. And of course, those who planned to fight this war, when they notice what it will take from them, they back down. And I tell you today, not until we win this war on this front. The journey has just begun. Some of you were thinking, oh, Biafra is going to come. Oh, is it Biafra is here? Biafra is going to come. Make no mistake about that. And let me tell you something. Biafra will come. But how long it's going to take us is going to be determined. But how serious we are. The Biafra de facto government have a very unique role to play in this instance. We are not blowing trumpet or saying much because we understand the presence of underdogs. They are everywhere prognosing on issues that are greater than them. For us to be able to conquer all this war, you need a government in place. Not government in exile alone. Not government in Biafra land alone. You need everybody. There is a government that must be put in place. And not until you begin to understand the dimension that is being taken to correct certain ills, you'll be shouting Biafra, Biafra, Biafra. We are coming. We are just looking at the war without. And then the number 3 war that we are fighting outside Biafra land against us as a people is a deliberate policy of emasculation. deliberate policy. We have said this repeatedly over and over, but we will continue saying it for the sake of the next generation that they might learn. It is convenient for people to say, hey, bring your business home, bring your business home, let us come home, you have to come home. And then I tell you, you are not fair to yourself if you cannot see that there are deliberate policy that is meant to emasculate us. I challenge Nigeria today. Issue a policy that will enable anybody build an airport, international airport in Nigeria. I can tell you in Anambra alone, you will have more than 20 international airports. I can tell you there are over 1 million Biafrans who will build their own international airport without asking for a dime from the federal government. But if they do that, what will it cost? How will it affect the economics? There will be, if too much money pursuing few goods is inflation, so too much aeroplane pursuing few customers, what will it be called? Aviation, how? I'm trying to figure the grammar. It's unfortunate. But then, you begin to ask yourself a question. Why is the issue of building an international airport look like it's one technology you go to the space to consult people to do that? The whole of the Biafra land, you have only one international airport. And I can humbly tell you it is a glorified one. It is just for the sake of protocol and diplomacy that makes them to allow Port Harcourt International Airport to go with that status quo. But it doesn't exist. Because there is no plane that moves from Port Harcourt to France direct without going to search you in Abuja or Lagos. There is no plane that will leave from Port Harcourt, supposedly international airport, to America without first taking you to Lagos and Abuja for searching. This is emasculation. We all know this already. And there are people who are supposed to be fighting on this front. We had aviation minister before now. Why did they not do something about it? But to you, it doesn't matter. We have Onne Seaport. It practically was there for the sake of Atiku, not the owners of the land. We understand Calabar was the first capital of Nigeria. So if Mary's Lesser came, if Linda Claton came, if Mongo Park or the Landa brothers came here, if Lord Lugard or whatever they came here, they came through Calabar. That same port that harbor modern vessels that reconfigured the universe is just a shack now. So because of the emergence of Nigeria, ships can't get there anymore. And this is emasculation. You just don't notice it yet. And we can begin to name issues that are not fair. But I want to believe in ordinary society. There should be, first of all, a fair playing ground for everybody. And then before you begin to consider the best of the best, the weak of the weak, and the rest of it, do we actually have a fair playing ground? And now we are looking at external war against us as a people. Somebody have to fight it. People don't understand. When you talk about the de facto government, when you talk about what we are doing here on the Biafra nation, when you talk about what we are doing as Biafra watchmen, among others, it is simple. One of my misguided fellas then will tell you, Akirol Wiki. But of course, it's the truth. And it must be made manifest in a time like this. The people of Biafra are just considering just some of this war that we are meant to fight externally. Who will defend us in those last outposts? Who will protect our people? And of course, I take the fourth one, then we look at the Tana one, which is the overall jihadist conquest there is ongoing plan for jihadis. There is ongoing plan, but the possibility is not much there, because reasonable people are coming up already, and then they are trying to diversify the whole process. But there is there, because Nigeria is an Islamic nation already. On whose consent was this made? Nigerian police registered as Islamic police. Nigerian artillery registered as Islamic artillery. Nigeria Air Force is registered as Islamic Air Force. Only the Nigerian Navy that is registered in English. Nigerian Central Bank is registered as Islamic. In fact, Nigeria Aso Rock is Islamic building. To mention but a few. And then when you look at the statement of Ahmadu Bello, around 1963 or thereabout, and in his own word, he said, when I first came to this place, I discovered that my people were not standing up to their responsibility. And so because he noticed that, he went and put facilities in place. The facilities of our undoing. And say, but for now, I cannot give an Igbo man any job. If I don't see an Igbo man like you to give this job, I look for an expatriate. If I don't see an expatriate, I look for common laborers and give them the job. And the Igbo man asked him, how long do you think this will continue? He said, as far as I can foresee, it is going to be for a very long time. Because when you put the Igbo man in any camp, he wants to emerge as a leader. Do you know some of you are even behaving like Ahmadu Bello? You put somebody in a position where you are supposed to promote superiority. I mean, you're supposed to promote advancement. You're supposed to encourage people to become better than they could ever be. And all of you are envious and you are jealous. We'll come to that. So his problem is that you put an Igbo man in the camp, he wants to emerge as a leader. I don't see anything wrong there. But if you must emerge as my leader, you must give proof. That is why I constantly remind our people, nobody takes a kingdom by word, you take it by action. And so, as far as I can remember, that statement, the last time I checked, is not a Catholic mass sermon. And ever since then, they built a lot of organization, the Islamic organization, to bring us down. The issue is still there. Who are the people preparing to defend our land should in case? And so these are just few examples of wars without. Wars that are going on already outside our territory. And then we come back and look at the next aspect of it, which is the war within. When you talk about the war within, Jesus made it clear. He said, a man's worst enemy will be members of his household. There is nothing you're going to do about that. You cannot change it. And that is why God created heaven and Satan was in heaven. And that is why he had 12 disciples and one of them was the devil. And that is why when the sons of God gather according to the book of Job, Satan was also there. And that is why if the light slack back a little bit, darkness will take it. Darkness will prevail in the absence of light. You see, there is constant friction. There is constant fight between them. And then, if we have this knowledge, this fight is going to be in the house. Who are those fighting, preparing to stop it? Whose side are you choosing? For the light to win? Or for the darkness to conquer? Or you are just a mere spectator? Understand, you cannot misplace any of them. That is why government is very important in what we are doing. You cannot misplace any of them. Let me digress a little bit. Somebody say, why did God allow Satan to continue to exist? He would have killed Satan. If you know what Satan is doing to the glory of God, you will even ask God to prolong the life of Satan. If they ask today, where are the children of light? All of us will claim we are the children of light. It's okay. For many reasons, you speak from your conscious mind. You believe light is the best. It's okay. But I tell you, without darkness, there will be no creation. Without darkness, there will be no creation. In fact, the beautiful things of this world are covered in darkness. And so, you must get there before you can access them. The beautiful things of this world are covered in darkness. And if we want to go by technology or mathematics, in terms of progression or otherwise, the plus is useless without the negative, the minus. And so those of you who studied math, you will understand this. Plus, plus, plus is equal to minus. And then maybe minus, minus, minus is equal to babash. Before you can get the accurate current conversion, you have to combine the negative and the positive. It is like in most part of the world where they believe that the man is the head. Without a woman, you will know how useless the man is. You can consider the woman as a weaker vessel, but I tell you, in their weakness, they rule the world. No wonder a songwriter said that when I see how this world was made, he will think that God is a woman. And so, even as much as you are strong as a man, very zealous, very energetic, you are a product of a woman. From her ribs you came, and from her ribs you will go back. Let me leave that interpretation for the next day. And so, this having been said, the war within is something that must be fought. And people need to begin to cover this ground because the journey has just begun. We have to correct the menace of politicians. The menace they have created within our land. It has to be corrected. Most of the problem we are facing today is caused by our politicians. I do not come out here to blame them holistically because we have not actually engaged them. And those who have tried to engage them, in most cases, become worse than them. When they are doing campaign, they say, in this election, we are going to do this, we are going to behave like that. Just let them enter. You will know that all their phone number you were calling them before they got into office, all of them were fake. And that is the end of it. And now, to come and correct these politicians, it's not going to be a day job. Somebody have to fight this war. And when you fight this war, you are not going to fight so that you win. You are going to fight so that everybody will win. You are going to fight, people see where your grievances are. You're going to fight in such a way that at the end of the day, those who will even condemn you will go behind you and say, I think he said the truth. We've come to a level where we all behave like barbaric. Our governors are idiots. Our politicians are criminal. Our this one and this one. But if we have the privileges most of these people have, we will be demon ourselves. Some people have not even smelled the corridor of power. They put God to challenge. And then I wonder, when such individuals become president of Nigeria, for instance, do we know Buhari is born again? But I tell you the truth. The menace caused by our politicians in time past as a result of negligence or ignorance of our people, this menace must be corrected. There must be a way to break out communication. And if you think it doesn't matter, don't worry. This thing will get to all of us. Both the hunter and the hunted, all of them will pay their price. I see some people now, they tell, oh, we are a champion. All of us, one way or the other, it will get to all of us. But the point is that at that moment, we will be the one that will define our position for you. That is exactly what we are fighting to make sure it happens. Internal crisis, internal war. Are you ready for it? Some politicians believe that when Biafra come, they will be killed. When Biafra come, this will happen. But the truth is, no such thing will happen because no such men have that power. But then must we continue to look at them, do what they do, and do nothing? Of course, no. And that is why most of us have chosen to run on the offense. Not in the nature it is being exhibited these days. Because I understand it is our right to self-determination. It is our right to civil disobedience. It is our right, civil disobedience, deliberate one. And these were some of the things we said we will do at the beginning of this journey. And of course, another example of internal war. To be able to make our leaders to come together is going to cause a war. There are governors you cannot unite. In fact, their safe home is National Assembly. And so once they finish their 8 years as your governor, they run to the National Assembly and then hide there for another 8 years or God knows when. They can't communicate. And that is why when it comes to the project of our people, the Biafran people, whether south or southeast, you look closely. There is no continuation in governmental project. No continuation. Only few of them understand the need to continue from where the other governor left. For instance, in River State, you have the project of monorail going on. I don't see any reason why the current governor, Wike, should not continue with the monorail. In the same way, I know of so many projects that was not completed by Peter Odele. But then Chibuka Mechi abandoned them. And this is because there is no means, no bridge of communication between governors in one state, not to talk of a bridge of communication between governors across Biafra land. It is possible, it is achievable, it can happen. But somebody have to take the initiative. Who is taking this initiative? Who understand the positive impact this can make in our region if these people are successfully engaged? I never believed in my life I will sit in one place and have discussion with Alhaji Asare Dokobo. I never believed in this my life that I will sit in one day and have discussion with people like Omiomio. Again. But some people put this process in place. Some people made it possible. Not for my own good, but for the good of all of us. And that is when they say with special arrangement, devil can see God. With special arrangement, our politicians can be called to order and they come together and talk about the welfare of our people. Because of course, this civil disobedience and the rest of the instrument which is given to us to undermine any system. If you think we are joking, you will understand the power of a local champion when the time will come. Don't worry. And so when we came out as a people, we came to fight this war. We came prepared. And we decide, we will tell you how it's going to end. The last blow will not be coming from you. There are things I don't want you to understand. But if you can reason, there are wars to be fought. Third example of this is internal war. They want to formulate a nation, a good policy, without being biased. To formulate a policy that can govern the Biafra nation is going to take war. People are going to tell you what is not achievable, what should not even be mentioned. And so it's a war. You need meticulous people. You need principled people. This is when engagement and discussion start. If you don't fight this war, my brother, you are not going anywhere. We hear discussion every day. People say many things. In my village, there is no single oil well. And when we talk as people who come from Delta, and there are people who are fast to say, una get oil, una get oil. But in my family land, there are butamin coming out from the ground. In my own family land, in my village, but there is no oil well. And so because they are harvesting, drilling the one in your community, does it mean it's not in my community? But we say South is oil producing. Do you know that even a single community, Asa, in Abia State, the volume of oil there is enough for all the oil companies to divide among themselves? Ubehe. Do you know the number of oil well in just one tiny community? Do you know why they are working very hard in Imo State to take over Haji Egbema? Let us leave that one. But all this war, you cannot win them until you holistically fight them in sincerity. And so when I am leaving Abo to come and discuss issues in Abua, I should understand with the parable of our ancestors that when a fowl enters a strange land, you put one leg on the ground and then lift up the other to make sure everybody there walks with two legs before he drops the second. You see, this is a war. But to you, you don't understand. Because any mistake, any premature calculation, I tell you, you are not ready for what is coming. That is why today when some people are jumping up and down, they are thinking they are doing something reasonable. My brother, you have not calculated the cost. For us to form a policy, somebody have to go down for another. Somebody have to go down for another. And then we look at the fourth one here, which is the war through consultation of every component member. Some component member of Biafra have been so upset within and within. They just can't listen to what you are saying. You don't make sense to them. But I tell you, ekwem lekwem, ishekpo yakwa. We must disagree in order to agree. This war is ranging already within and without. And it is gradually reshaping our way of life, our values, and everything that we are as a people. And most of you cannot see it. There is a limit to what the hand can do. And no matter the advantage of the hand, it can never successfully do the job of the leg. No matter how strong your foot may be, it can never take the place of your stomach. And in fact, the Bible says that some of these body organs that look weak are more protected than those that are strong. And not until the overall body begin to function for the edification of one another, the whole body will break down. The system will suffer, and that individual will die. Today, as a Biafran pro group, or pro-Biafran group, today as a Biafran warlord, today as Alpha and Oba of Biafra land, Igwe of Biafra land, who are you? Are you the leg, or are you the hand? Are you the eye, or are you the nose? Are you the kidney, or are you the liver? Whatever you think you are, understand, if what you are doing is not for the overall interest of the body, you will first of all die before other parts of the body will die. And that is the gospel truth. And so like one body, Biafran body, everybody is fighting from his own angle. There are some who believe, I am the mouth, I am the mouth, I should eat more. And then there are some who believe, okay, I am the hand, I walk more, I trek more. My brother, without all of them rechanneling their energy to one direction, they are not going anywhere. Gradually, systematically, they will come down. In conclusion, there is a part of the body that governs. It controls order. It is called the brain. And even in automobile, is referred to as brain boss. It's just a tiny object. But then the system is connected to it. He distributes functions and of course return benefit of their function or activities. Even some minutes after a man dies, the brain is the last to shut down. It doesn't shut down at once. And that is because he patiently allows other part of the body to die down completely. And once the brain is out, that is it. In other words, like the issue of Biafra, not until we get mature to a level where we understand that we need a government to run us. A genuine government that is not biased. A genuine government without their own interest. My brother, get ready to shout for Biafra. 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 We can't be deceiving our people when we know what we are supposed to do already. America may have 100 political parties. They can hate themselves as you can describe them. But I think the hidden agenda there is America first. Whether it's Donald Trump, America first. Whether it's Joe Biden, America first. And so within each year, this body, parties govern. Their interest is that America must remain great. Could we have such mind in any country in Africa? The answer is no. Because the moment we are doing certain things, even against ourselves, most of us don't know. To them, they know what they are doing. My brother, madman say, I know what I am doing, but what is doing me, I don't know. We have gotten to a stage today. Everywhere you go to, is shooting, killing, burning. And we are the one who is suffering it. Unknown gunmen have been working very hard. And of course, they have reason for what they are doing. But what is the consequence of what they have been doing? Oh, bomb police station, you kill people, you do this one, you jump up and down, you are even fighting for those who do not ask you to fight for them. We are wasting our youth. We have record in one of my programs before now. I brought out the list and wanted to call all their names, but too numerous. And this is almost 4 years between now and then. How many people died on a daily basis? IPOB is being adopted every day. You will never hear about them. Some weeks ago, we talked about Biggie. Most of you have forgotten about it. And currently, we are talking about Ikunso. And then today, another one emerged on the line. And he said it's still the same. And these are people, these are men who we will need at the right time. This war cannot be fought, cannot be won on one front, because it is not being fought on one front. It is being fought on different front. People of Biafra, understand the reason why we are here, and let us begin to respect ourselves. This journey has just begun. And if you truly believe in the restoration of Biafra, if you truly believe it is achievable, and then let's not forget the revolution has started. Let's not forget the need to establish a government that will correct all the rubbish that has been done in this system. And then let's just play the audio, and then we'll continue from there.
We're going to start again. Tell us briefly your name, where you are from.
My name is Andy.
Louder now.
My name is Andy.
Alias
Japan.
Alias
Japan.
Japan. Okay.
I come from the local government.
Okay.
Yes.
When did you join ESN?
3 years ago.
3 years on. So who is your leader in Oguta there?
In
Oguta one there. Who is the leader?
Only me, sir.
You are the leader and you are the only person.
Only me, they are not a leader, sir.
Okay. So the attack on police headquarters and correction center, that is prison. You were a member. You follow.
I follow.
Okay. How did people carry out the plan to come and attack prison and police headquarters?
Sir, it's because of some of my members when they are in the prison.
Some of your members in the prison?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You can't rescue them.
Okay. But you don't know any one of them?
They don't know left, sir.
Okay. So on that day, what were you carrying? Which arms and ammunition did you carry that day?
Myself. I carry a very big stick. I not even enter inside station, but I wait outside gates in the way because we are men.
In the prison, you enter the prison.
Yeah.
And what damage did you cause in the prison?
Louvers.
You said?
Louvers.
You broke louvers?
I think
Almaco. Glasses.
Oh, yes.
That's the one you broke.
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay. Now that, what is the aim for you joining ESN? What do you want to achieve?
So, today the fact we are freedom fighters.
Freedom fighters.
Freedom fighters. We are looking for freedom.
Okay, if you are fighting for freedom, what about those people that you kill, like the soldiers at Ukwaji when they were going? Why did people kill them?
Ukwaji. Our motto, now the first motto, we don't pass. But I hear say something like that happens.
Okay, your first motto has passed.
Pass, yes, sir. But I hear say something like
if you are in the first motto, which means you are one of the big boys now.
No, sir.
Which motto were you in that day?
Small boss. But we pick the guy on the road. Then after carrying us to, then leave and go away.
Okay. So, are you regretting your action now?
Yeah?
Are you regretting your action?
Oh yes, sir. Oh yes, sir.
So, what do you want the government to do for you now that you are caught?
Sir, as I don't I know, sir, I don't offend it. But if government free me, friend, if they don't free me, I won't do myself.
Okay. How long have you been living in Oguta? Since you are not from Oguta?
They don't tell me for them.
Huh?
They don't tell me there.
Okay. Are you married?
Yes.
Where do you have children?
Yes, sir.
Where are they?
They are there.
Okay, for this ESN, how much do they normally pay you?
1 naira, they never give. Shishi.
You don't pay anything?
Yes. Then for me, say when Biafra come, they will pour us.
They said?
When Biafra come, they will pour us and turn our children.
Okay. It's alright. Thank you.
And of course, the truth cannot be overemphasized. This is Japan. Japan, anybody who answers Japan in Biafra land, watch that person. He's a mechanic and a very good one. Because the moment a mechanic have unusual, outstanding performance in that area of expertise, in that field, they call them Japan. Somebody have to defend our land. And we cannot be running like criminals. We can't be hiding as if we are armed robbers. But let us see how many that will die before the end of this year. And let us see whether Biafra will come. But we know what is supposed to bring this freedom for us. Most of us are deliberately destroying it. That should begin to ask us simple question. Who exactly are we working for? And somewhere along the line, they want to change the narrative. We go nowhere. We go nowhere. And so the earlier Biafran people begin to save Biafran life, because Biafran life matter, the better for all of us. At this moment, our lines are open. Our WhatsApp line remains 070-815-45642. 070-815-45642. And then our direct line is 081-221-52971. 081-221-52971. And of course, if for some reason you are not able to access my studio line and you have access to my private WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, as the case may be, you are free to call in. And so, like I said, our lines are open and you're free to call in.
Biafra's Got Talent exclusive.
After this heavy rain, please let the sun rise.
Our lives are in danger, siblings and more that all day long we have been ruled by strangers. Give us Biafra. We are begging you, please.
There's nothing we can do without you. It's only you that will save my life.
Chukwu Okike Biama, you are the one to give us Biafra. We pray.
Oh, just save the lost.
Yes, of course, I am joined by my brother, Mazi Chimeze. Can you hear me, please, brother Chimeze?
Yes, yeah, my brother, I can hear you.
Good evening from here.
Yeah, once again, thank you so much for doing the painstaking job, and thank you for having me on your program. You know, I only wish people can see the truth. I only pray our people can begin to wake up and see the wood from the tree. Like you rightly said, how many more will die before the end of this year? And will Biafra come at the end of this year? You know, young lives have been wasted. People have been deliberately misled. And, you know, the pain is becoming so much, but people may not understand it. There is a lot to be done. Now, look at this young man. Like you hit the nail on the head. For him to be called Japan, that means this guy is good on his craft.
In Biafra land, if you see anybody answering Japan, go and watch them. These are high technical individuals. They don't just call you Japan. Go ahead.
Yes, of course. You know, like most of them are artisans. Most of them, you know, they're into different things. Yes, you know, it will be out of place not to say there are no issues in Nigeria at the minute. But then, we cannot have our own all on harm's way. Now, this young man has a family and a wife. Who's going to provide for him? You know, I wish sometimes, yes, there are different divides, but at the minute, we need to engage in this quality discussion. It's not about allowing, you know, personal adrenaline to be running through emotions and some stuff. You know, it's time we begin to look at quality discussions. What are we doing right and what are we doing wrong? You know, it is high time. It is high time. You know, people need to open up their minds and listen to your program. You know, this, even I've seen so much confessional videos that, you know, at the end of the day, who are they working for? You know, people, we need to wake up. We can't continue this way. This is the truth. And at the minute, you know, we cannot turn a blind eye because we don't want to sound controversial or we don't want to come across as being on the opposite side. No, I am totally opposed to whatever ESN is doing. Because at the end of the day, they are not working to anybody's progress. You know, if there's so much insecurity today, to whose benefit is it? Yeah, but I said, let me just call in to say thank you so much. You know, I share your program, I listen, and I say, hands on heart, your presentation is crystal clear. You know, it doesn't need anything else. Only what I ask is, how can we reach out to these vulnerable brothers that have been misled? Because to the best of my ability, these guys, they need to set them free from whatever has beclouded their sense of reasoning. I've seen most of their videos, and I can tell for a simple fact, these are people who cannot even reason. It's not about education. They can't even reason for themselves. And most of them don't even know why they are involved in what they are doing. Look at his last question. He's a freedom fighter. They promise to pay them when Biafra come. Who does that? Who does that? You know, and when someone like you brings up this conversation, people tend to misunderstand you. For goodness sake, is it because this guy is not related to them? Or is it till this thing begin to get to our individual communities in the Southeast, then we begin to understand? Is it till when we wake up and we hear there's a military invasion in a particular community, it's been overrun, buildings has been, brought down to the ground zero? Is it then people begin to wake up? Like I said this, I am from the Southeast. I am from Abia State. To the best of my knowledge, Anambra has a lot at stake. They have so many industries in Anambra State. If these things begin to get out of hand, and people means of livelihood begins to be attacked. Now, as an Abia person, what I expect all these people on the other divide should be asking: why is our glass industry not working? What is wrong with Abia State Texas Mill? What about Golden Guineas? These are industries that if we have, if returned, can employ these our brothers. And anybody that thinks that our politicians, like you rightly said in your monologue, we need them. We need to work with them. Like you said, with good arrangement, devil can see God. With proper arrangement, we can engage our politicians and have a discussion with them, and they begin to see our view. Because at the end of the day, people are not gainfully employed. People are not meaningfully engaged. That is why, these guys, they just talk them into all these things, and they are the ones causing havoc. Yeah, but thank you so much once again, and God bless you. Thank you for your good work.
Thank you for joining me, my brother. We must continue. Of course, a lot is being changed already within the Biafran territory, without even the knowledge of the people. A lot of things are being changed. The revolution have started. 30th of May, of course, we continue to acknowledge those who died. We cannot ignore it. Our spirit accepts that date, and we continue to remember them. But then, how long are we going to be mourning? The war have not started, though. The war has not started, though. And those who don't know how many people who are dying every day, when we talk, you don't know how we feel, and you can't tell us how we feel. It is only the truth that guides us, and we must allow the truth to guide us to the end. Like I said, our lines are open. Don't let anybody deceive you. We are changing already. Be careful what you change into. We are changing already. And my advice for you as a Biafran is be careful what you change into. Nobody have monopoly. It's like Nigeria. Ordinary unknown government and maybe ESM. Everywhere now they are in trouble. The real Biafra Haran has not come out. And you people will confirm it when the time comes. Yes, I said so. If things are not coordinated, if you fail to believe in justice, equity, and fairness, the real Biafra Haram is coming. Not this one is a Japan, the other one is a Biggie, the other one is a Holy Corpse. If they were asking questions, they become threats. They become threats. I have asked series of these questions to Benjamin Madubugu, to China Sanworu, even to Nnamdi Kanu. We buru onye ozu onye ozo isi onokesi we bu oshishi kponkon nso buaria. Caller on WhatsApp.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening from here.
Good evening, Biafrans all over the world from here. My name is Chukudi Eric. I am from Anama province, based in Italy. I want to appreciate my brother Chimeze. I want to say something to my brother Chimeze. Brother Chimeze is somebody that I respect so much, and I regard him so much. Anybody from this our Biafra nation family who don't want Brother Chimeze is an enemy to Biafra freedom. Because Brother Chimeze is like somebody who is very open, and anytime issue of our people dying back home, Brother Chimeze is always concerned. we feel for our people. And I want to tell Biafran something, because I watched that guy video, and I believe that tomorrow or today they will deny the guy who call himself a Japan. They will deny him the way they deny other people. And I told Biafran something one day, that the reason why our brother Ikonso name is raining, or Ikonso name is flying all over the platform, nobody deny Ikonso, because of the role Ikonso have agreed to play to victimize our people, to oppress our people, to intimidate our people. But today, we are seeing several videos. More is about to come out. More is about to come out. Then deny Biggie. And I believe this our brother called Japan. They will still deny him, because I saw one post, somebody say, I don't agree with this, which means they don't agree with that our brother who call himself Japan. So many of our people who volunteer themselves, all in the name of freedom, but without knowing they are fighting for one man. They are not fighting for the right cause. Promising them different things, that when Biafra come, they will make them the richest people in Biafra land, or they will make them, they will pay their family, they will give them different, they will have different department to handle. No. Biafrans need to wake up and do this, because this is just the beginning. And anybody who plans to use our people for sacrifice for all the name of Biafra, I tell you, they will fail. They will end up in shame. Even those who stand to fight for justice, who believe that they are fighting for Biafra, and who believe that they want to victimize our people, to make name, to take glory, I believe that they will end up in shame. But we give thanks to God that our elder brother, or our senior brother, Mazu Chemefo, give us an opportunity for this Biafra Human Rights Radio. If not this Biafra Human Rights Radio, I tell you, the situation we'll be facing now is going to be dangerous for us. But glory be to God, we found ourselves in this situation, and we need to appreciate God, and we must continue. Biafrans need to wake up. Let's do the right thing. Let's try our best to lead our people to the normal destination. Because many people think that they are doing the right thing, but they are playing with the life of Biafrans. But I tell you, we will never back down, and we will never submit. We will never give up. And I want to urge my brother Chimeze to not back down for anybody. Let him stand and remain focused. We are going somewhere. Even if we are only 3 people standing for Biafra Nation family, we will never back down to anybody. As far we stand for the justice of our people, we believe that we need to protect our people and want the best for our people. Nobody will oppress us. Nobody will intimidate us. Thank you very much, sir. Continue your good work. And I believe that on a very good day, we shall smile and rejoice and celebrate together as a family.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. God bless you, sir.
And bless you too. And of course, we are inching closer to the end of this program because duty calls. As we don't come here to tell you we are giving you Biafra next year, we are not braggadashing up and down, you will not understand that men don't rest. Nwoke is wike. Men don't sleep. But let our actions, let the sacrifice we make speak, not us talking. There is revolution going on already within and outside Biafra land. And everybody who has followed this broadcast or who will follow this broadcast later on, begin to reconsider these areas of interest and sincerely ask yourself, which one are you defending? On what outpost are you defending the Biafra nation? What exactly are you doing for our people? You set us up, you blackmail us, you lead us to our death, you harass and intimidate us to shut us down, but you really don't know who we are. We are Biafra watchmen. We go nowhere. One day you will understand. Like I said, the message is simple. We continue to push. Biafrans must understand that there is no need for you to be careless with your life in a time like this. A day will come. We will need you. A day will come. Your service will be required by your fatherland, your motherland. And the question or the issue should be, do not be found wanting. Do not allow anybody to misplace you. Do not allow anybody to fool you. If it is Biafra we want, Biafra we shall get. I want to thank everyone who has been able to call in. I truly appreciate. My apology to those that cannot receive their call at this moment, because I have to log out for other assignment. Tomorrow is another day. We'll continue from where we stop. If indeed you are a Biafra, a genuine Biafran, a truthful Biafran, don't forget that the overall interest of the Biafran people remain paramount and should be of ultimate concern to all of us. Good night from here, and God bless all of you. Ndewonu. Ndewonu.
All day long we have been ruled by strangers. Give us Biafra. We are begging you, please. There's nothing we can do without you. It's only you that will save my life. Chukwu King Biama, you are the one to give us Biafra. We pray. Save our lives. We are your children, save our lives.
We all like sheep has gone astray. Restore our land and heal our hearts.
Save my life. Save my life. Save my life. Almighty Father. We are begging you, please.
We ain't been living here in the zoo. You up them and set us free. We are begging you.
See my people stay a crying. Chupa Biafra, we get dying. Save our land, we beg you, Lord.
Tears in my eyes every day. I dey
I know you can feel our anguish, but don't let us perish in the hands of our enemies.